Hey everyone, Haz here. Welcome back to another war video. This one's the final of the season, war number 12, and we're going to be facing the top alliance in the game, GT40. So up here first, I want to talk to you about this war because it's a little different. So we had pretty much guaranteed top 10 at this point, so we decided that we weren't going to push too hard. So we just said, light-ish boosts and just kind of have fun with it really. Don't die every single fight if you can, but just, don't stress too much about it essentially. So moving on here, we got section 1, path 1, taking this IMIW war. I don't know what happened at the start. I think I was just kind of, I had a bit of a brain fart, and the same with the next fight, to be honest, as well. I think I just maybe taking it a bit too relaxed, I think. But I do sharpen up, I promise. So here, I had to pause. I think something happened in the background, but anyways, here it's pretty simple, just some regen. So we just gotta use special 1 to bypass the auto block, just in case clarity falls off, but I guess it isn't really gonna fall off, so the end of mine, I guess special 1 was just to get degens on. And he goes down pretty quick here. I think it takes 2 cycles, which is decent for an IMIW war, especially when we had that little mistake at the start. So he's at about 30% now. I kind of wanted to take him down with the degens once he got to 15, rather than kind of using the degens as he's there, but it didn't really matter. Degens did a fine job and he goes down without throwing a special, so yeah, ended up being fine. Next up we got this Jess. I'm not too worried about Jess, even though I died to her last one. I'm still not too worried about it. I think it's just that node kind of caused me to panic a bit, and I've been going over it a lot in my head, and it wasn't a fun fight and I just made too many mistakes. But for this fight, this one's a little bit simpler, at least once you get into the rhythm it is. So I'm trying to just get the tactic up at the moment. It's kind of difficult with masochism, but I think I just want to try and throw special 1s. Here I get comboed, so it's not great, but like I said, we're not really pushing, so it didn't bother me too much. But I knew that once I had this fight under control, there was no way I was going to die to it. Because there's no nodes that stop us from going for special 1s, and if you saw my death last war, the real problem was that I didn't properly manage cleanse because we couldn't go for the grip, and so the unstoppable kind of caught me. But here we can stand special 1s all day, and there's no extra power game we have to worry about, so she's not going to gain way too much investigation, and we can be as aggressive as we want as well. So yeah, pretty much just a standard Jess fight here, aside from the unblockable, which is really nice. Here she's melting pretty quick. She's at about 30%. So yeah, that's a wrap on that fight pretty much. I get hit by the end of that special 1. I don't know, just a bit of a goof, I guess. I don't know. But that was fine. Moving on here, we got section 2, path 1 as well. So we got this Maestro. I initially wanted to use Vox for this, but I figured, well, we're essentially kind of in off season, so don't have to worry too much about death, so why don't I just try Chee'ilth, because I know Vox can do this fight just fine. So I went with Chee'ilth. The main reason I went with Chee'ilth was because he's Gamma, Maestro is Gamma, so you get extra bleed potency. But to be honest with you, I think if I was to take this fight again, I probably wouldn't use Chee'ilth, just because the glancing really does kind of hamper her damage a lot, even when you're spamming special 1s. I mean, I could have played it a lot better as well. I kind of messed up a lot in this fight as well, but you'll see here. Even though we go for a few pauses, we get some bleeds up. I think he could have been a bit more aggressive throwing heavies, but even still, the glancing just really hampers our damage quite a lot. Luckily, we can still apply bleeds with the grit, although it did glance there just because of how glancing works, which is annoying. I think I noticed this, and I ended up going for special 1s just off of I guess off of a heavy is fine. I was going to say off of an intercept, but that's fine. So he's at 26 now. He's at 40%, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. And then I'm just going to knock him down again. Kind of pause bleeds. We only have 3 up at the moment, so that's not great. So here, I'm going to go for another special 1, hopefully soon. So yeah, I want to knock him down first to stop him going into Superior Rage. Go here for special 1. I think it glanced again, which is annoying. So I think that was the main problem with it, was just the fact that the grit was glancing, so I wasn't applying extra bleeds on my specials. That's when my damage really got hampered. Here I did notice, so I went for intercept into 1, so now we can apply some more bleeds. And yeah, you can see you just take a lot of chip damage from the energy resist. I think if I knew I was going to use Chee'ilth for this fight, I probably would have put on the energy resist stat focus instead. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, it's still not a bad fight. It's more just like I didn't play it super well. If I kind of clocked that the glancing would do that like that many times, I probably would have just done all off intercepts. I think I just didn't notice at the start. I really should have though, and he goes down. So it ended up being fine, still solid, and it was fine. But yeah, definitely some improvements he made to that fight, or just use Vox in the future, I guess. This fight is really interesting though, because we've had a lot of issues with this fight over the course of the season. We've tried like Angela, we've tried Null, we've tried a bunch of different champs, but Null gets banned quite a bit, so it's hard to pick a really good option. Vox is technically an option, but the buffet node makes it a little bit difficult because of all the nullify, which causes Vox to deal like self damage, which is not good. I mean, you can still do it, but I decided to go with Chee'ilth here, and I kind of knew she'd be a decent option once you get the tactic up, just because the bleed shut off most of the healing, and then you just gotta kind of spam special ones and deal good damage. Here I go for a couple of risky heavies, which is not like me, but like I said, we're not pushing super hard this war, so I figured why not try and get the tactic up a little bit easier. Go for a special one, which puts us into clarity, which is nice. Now I'm literally just gonna block specials, parry some hits if I can to limit buffet, and that way we can build our spirit charge timer as well by parrying, and then we're just gonna spam special ones for the bleeds, and she goes down pretty quick actually. This was actually a really nice fight. I think I only ended up losing like 5 or 6% of my health in total. So yeah, she's really good for this placement. I think this is a rank 3 Shuri as well. Well, I assume it is. It's GT40. So yeah, it's really nice. Another special one bait here, but you can see we're handling the fight really well. The regen is, you know, not very high at all, and the bleeds are really ticking it down, so that went really well. So I think in future, if my officer sees this, which I hopefully he does, he'll assign me this next season as well, because she's a pretty decent option. Next up we got this arcade. Again, I was kind of thinking about taking this with Vox, because Vox is pretty much a perfect arcade counter between the poison immunity and the undermine especially, and the tactic I guess as well. But Chee'ilth also works really well with the way you can play arcade. You just bait heavies, inflict so many bleeds against him. So I decided to do that because I've already done it a couple of times this season, so I'm pretty confident with it. So here, like I said before, the only thing you ought to worry about is just making sure he doesn't land that heavy. If he finishes his heavy attack, then that's where the problems start to come in. But as long as he doesn't do that, and you can kind of manage your spacing and inflict loads of bleeds, you're pretty much fine. Here he goes into the evade, so I throw a special one to try and get tactic up in case he did evade my heavy. And he's got like 12 bleeds, so he's doing, you know, he's melting pretty quick now. Now we've got 16 bleeds, so yeah, he's melting at this point. Now we're going to put on another 4 bleeds for 20 in total, so that's really, really nice. And he's just basically melting. Here I'm holding block, and he decides to just throw a special 2 just randomly. I've noticed he does do that, but we block it and it doesn't do too much damage, and then he just dies off in the bleeds. So really, really easy fight. Pretty happy with how that went. Next up we got this Peni on 41. This is a pretty easy fight with Vox. Vox basically counters everything Peni has, especially with the tactic up, but even without it you have the undermine, so there's nothing to worry about with Peni here. Literally all we gotta do is just not get caught by bubble shield or the root, and that's essentially it. So yeah, we're gonna be baiting special ones mainly. I think Peni is mainly placed here just because of if you get caught with the root, then she's gonna throw a special 1, you're gonna try and block it, and then you're gonna get bubble shield just to kind of deal some damage to you, or special 2 I guess as well, because of the power focus node. You could take special 2 and take a bunch of damage, but yeah, here go for the degens, and she's melting pretty quick. I get rooted here, so I do have to eat a special 1. I couldn't block it, but I didn't really want bubble shield to take me by surprise, so I tried to dex and it just failed, because of course it does. You know, it's hard to dex a special 1 while rooted. Then here we finish it off with a combo, and yeah, she's done. So pretty easy fight for Vox, nothing too crazy. Last up here we got this Kindred. I was assigned boss, but I was a bit late. I was a bit busy on the first day of war, so I couldn't quite take all my fights. so someone else took boss, but that's fine. We're going to take this Kindred here on 44. Chee'ilth's got this. Heal up a little bit just because I like healing, I guess. I got loads of potions, so it's fine. This Kindred here, Incinerate, Poison, Stun Immunity, pretty much fine for Chee'ilth. You'll see she handles this fight really, really well. So yeah, my aim is just to re-parry and then just bait heavies, really. That's it. You can easily counter as heavy without any light spacing or anything like that, so as long as you're, you know, on top of your heavies and trying to bait heavies and stuff, it's a pretty easy fight. Here we get the pause, which is nice. I want to go for a special 2 Tranquilize just because that'll limit some more of the debuffs, although you don't really need it because you're only baiting heavies. But we still go for it anyway just to be safe. Don't want to take any unnecessary damage really. Special 2 hits pretty hard, does about 50k damage, which is pretty nice. Then here, Gift into the pause, really nice, and he's down to like 20%, so we're gonna stack on a couple more heavies here. I could go for another heavy, but I'm gonna go for a combo instead and use that to trigger the root and then break out with my special, and he goes down. So yeah, that's my whole season. Hope this has been enjoyable to watch. I definitely had a fun time shooting all of it and doing all the fights, and even my death was still enjoyable, so yeah. Looking forward to getting those top 10 rewards, and thanks to all my officers for being such great planners and everything else. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day.